Right, it is exactly 9 p.m. top of the hour, and you're just right on time for KUTV Prime Weekend. Indeed, we have much and more lined up for you this particular evening, but first thing first, our top stories tonight. Tonight, Kome must go. Azimio goes for the police IG head, demanding his resignation over police brutality on day 2 of requiem mass of fallen demonstrators. No need for jitters. We got you covered. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu assures learners that no fee will be increased. Also tonight, Kenya joins the rest of the world in marking International Youth Day. Plus, the new sheriff in town, St. Anthony, edged out Dagoretti High to claim 2023 National Schools football bragging rights. EVALYN LANGAT is on our sign language interpretation tonight. My name is AUMA Evans. Remember, we are live on all of our social media platforms, and we're actually live on YouTube at KUTV Kenya, and you can tweet us at KUTV_Kenya at AUMA Evans. Remember to use the hashtag Primetime Weekend. Now, we begin our story here where the Azimio leader, that is Raila Odinga, has admonished President William Ruto for his blunted display of arrogance in thwarting the recently culminated anti-government protest. Raila beckoned the state to take a look at the victims felled by the police, rallying his supporters in Nyando, where he officially launched the Otho SDA Church to have faith in his renewed plan of tranquil Indo protest. Mnenuweru kick us off tonight.
For the second day in a row, Azimio la Umoja has pitched camp in Nyanza to recollect the damages of the now suspended street protests.
Pastor Ongoro, your guest is here. Give Pastor Ongoro room. Thank you.
Otho Church Hall in Nyando, Kisumu County was filled to the brim as lamentations of police brutality rented the air, a trend that was followed later in the day when an Azimio team led a requiem mass for 2 victims of police brutality in Luanda, Vihiga County. The leader of minority in the National Assembly putting the protest death toll at least 72.
It's 72. And we are going to be able to publish these names as early as tomorrow. 72 deaths and still counting of Kenyans who have lost their lives from police bullets or truncheons.
Azimio leader Raila Odinga was sharp in 7th day fatigues, ready to lead the onslaught against the brute force. Raila revisited the rights of picketing enjoyed by Kenyans, arguing that the police brutality meted out on Kenyans was uncalled for.
Yet in Kenya, somebody proposed to criminalize demonstrations. That is, demonstrators are going to destroy properties of other Kenyans. Demonstrations are going to destroy properties of other Kenyans. You ask yourself, what properties do you destroy in Nyalenda? What properties do you destroy in Kibera? What properties are you destroying in Madari?
Raila was even more irked by perceived chest thumping and arrogance displayed by President William Ruto on his prowess to quell protests, Raila cancelling the destruction of property as grounds for state brutality.
Hey, hawajaniona, wataniona, nitawakanyaga, tumewakanyaga. Because you've killed innocent people, you're going to shout at the top of your voice in another part of the country, and you're purporting to be a leader of a country. Every life must count. And then you're obsessed with saying, oh, my next responsibility is to take Raila to Bondo. Raila knows how to get to Bondo.
Raila Odinga's sudden change of heart from violent protests to stay-at-home diplomatic picketing is uncommon in Kenya's history of mass protests, but the scars of violent demonstrations will forever remain fresh in the minds of Kenyans. Muneneweru, KU TV.
Now to diplomatic ties. President William Ruto has rallied African states to build bridges and break trade boundaries between them in a bid to keep up with the global markets. Ruto also wants the Pan-African Parliament, to be reinforced as part of building a powerful African Union. Ruto made this call during an investment forum between Kenya and Mozambique in Maputo, accompanied by Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Mutua, his defense counterpart Adan Duale, and Attorney General Justice Muturi. The two-day state visit has ended.
The instruments we are putting in place, whether it is the tripartite agreement, whether it is the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, or the free-exim settlement facilities we are putting in place, will give us an opportunity, give our business people an opportunity to escalate intra-African trade to where other regions are. In Asia, it's at 60%. In Europe, it's at 70%. But in our continent, it's only at 16%. It tells us we have huge opportunity and potential. And as we pull as the policymakers, I hope you will be pushing as the private sector.
All right, from Maputo to Kakamega. Speaking in Kakamega County while launching the Western Kenya Muslim Women Circle during Western Kenya Muslim Women Quran Memorization Competition held at Kakamega Muslim Secondary School, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi said that government is ready to empower women. Mudavadi has lauded the launch of the circle, saying it will spark growth of the economy of Western Kenya region. Kakamega County Governor Fernandez Barasa, who attended the event, called for unity among Mulembe communities.
Tumesema tuweze kuanzisha hiyo sako, tuweze kufanya miradi ambayo itasaidia hawa kina mama ambao wametoka misikiti takriban 500 Bungoma, Kakamega, Vihiga na Busia County, ili tuweze kuinuana kama kina mama Waislamu.
Ladies and gentlemen, with great honor and respect, we gather to celebrate the incredible achievements of women. It is a testament to the dedication, knowledge, and devotion that each and every woman member of this group must be proud of their journey to enhance their understanding of the Holy Quran and belong to a circle.
Kusaidia dada wetu kwa mambo ya kulonji sako yao ya Western Kenya Women Sako. Aidha pia nachukua fursa hii kumshukuru sana our brother ambaye ndio kiongozi wetu kwa serikali, ambaye yeye ni the Prime Cabinet Secretary, my brother Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. We really appreciate you. Tunaenda kukuunga mkono kama jamii ya Mulembe Nation. Na mimi nimesema sisi wote ambao ni viongozi, we want to speak one language, ambaye ni umoja wa Mulembe Nation. Hapo ndipo tutaweza kupetewa heshima kubwa. We must speak one language, tuungane sisi wote pamoja.
And the government is committed to fully implement the new competence-based curriculum, that is CBC. This is according to Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, who says that his ministry has already released a circular to ensure proper execution of the recommended changes. Machogu announced this during the official launch of classrooms constructed in various secondary schools in Kuria East and Kuria West regions. Our very own Yvonne Kemuma now reports.
Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu has announced that the government is keen on fully implementing the new CBC curriculum. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of classrooms in various secondary schools across the Kuria East and West areas, Machogu emphasized that his ministry has already released a circular to ensure the proper execution of the recommended changes.
People said the system CPC is a little bit more and a lot more expensive, and again that particular area has also been looked into, and there are recommendations which have been made thereof, which as the implementing agency, means of education, we are also implementing to make sure parents are not overburdened.
Previously, President William Ruto had already approved the recommendations of the Presidential Working Party on education reforms and ordered the immediate implementation of the recommendations. Some of the recommendations involved reducing the number of subjects taught to the students under the CBC.
The number of running areas, when the team went around this country and engaged with the head teachers, the main stakeholders, KUPPET, KNUT, and all the other people, the recommendations that were made by Kenyans were that our children were being so much overloaded, so that has now been reduced almost in each and every level.
The number of subjects taught to students in grade 1 to 3 has been reduced from 9 to 7. Students in grade 4 to 6 will be expected to undertake 8 subjects from the current 12, as students from grade 7 to 9 will take 9 subjects instead of the previous 14. Machogu also disclosed that the government is fully dedicated to constructing laboratories in junior secondary schools to enhance the learning environment. In related news, the Education Prime Secretary Belio Kipsang has clarified that the government has not increased university fees, contrary to popular belief. Kipsang clarifies that the Kenya Kwanza government has only modified the education funding model.
45,000 students, 45,000 will walk to our university, acquire education without paying a shilling. The highest amount our parents will pay is around 7%, which goes to around, at most, around 22,000 shillings per semester.
We actually doubled our allocation to our universities up to a tune of 80 billion Kenya shillings. We also increased the higher education loans board allocation from 15 billion to 30 billion, and this is geared towards having an equitable society and an egalitarian society. And
Kipsang made these remarks during a fundraising event for the construction of classrooms and dormitories at Shania Boys High School. Yvonne Kemuma, KU TV.
Elsewhere, National Assembly Committee on Implementation was forced to adjourn its sittings at Malindi Space Center in Kilifi County on Friday after top Italian government officials failed to show up at a scheduled meeting to discuss the running of the Luigi Broglio Space Center. Our very own James Muriki reports on a day that the committee had hoped to meet with the Italian Minister for Defense and his principal secretary.
The Committee on Implementation, which was on a fact-finding mission at the Gomeni Base Center, also known as the Luigi Broglio Space Center, was informed that only Italian ambassador to Kenya Roberto Natali was the senior official present at the meeting. According to the committee chairperson Rafael Wanjala, the committee expecting to meet with the Italian defense minister and his principal secretary, who were the main decision makers on issues relating to a bilateral agreement signed between the Kenyan and Italian government on the running of the space center.
We expected to meet the people who are able to make the decisions. And according to that agreement, is the minister from Italy and the minister from Kenya. Already we have met minister from Kenya Principal Secretary from Kenya. We have not met Principal Secretary from Italy and the Minister from Italy, and that's why we are here. We have postponed the meeting. We have given them 3 weeks. Within 3 weeks, we shall be convening them again to have this meeting.
The committee wanted to establish how many Kenyans are employed at the Space Center, how many development projects and been initiated in the area, and how many Kenyans and been picked to study matters of airspace technology in Italy, as per the bilateral agreement.
We want to know how many Kenyans have been employed here, what type or how many development they have initiated in this area, how many students have been picked by our government from Kenya to go and study on the issues of airspace and so on. So those are the issues we are following up and other issues that were agreed at during when they signed the agreement.
However, Defense Principal Secretary Patrick Malilo assured that there were no disagreement since the Italian government and responding to issues raised by Cabinet Secretary Eden Wale in writing.
The Italian government did respond to the issues raised by our Cabinet Secretary. They responded in writing, but those responses the committee hadn't gotten. So what we have said, and the chairman has ruled rightly so, is that let us adjourn the session until we get the responses from the Italian government.
Italian ambassador to Kenya, Roberto Natali, saying the Italian government had already sent the responses and hoped that the document would give satisfactory answers to the questions raised.
Once this document will be read, we will meet again, maybe in a smaller committee, not everybody, and we will see if this answer have been satisfied, which I think, or there is some still a little point to be clarified, and we are ready to do that.
The Committee on Implementation says that it will convene another meeting at the center within 3 weeks, in which the top Italian government officials are expected to attend. James Mureke Mwanda, KUTV.
All right, that story by James Muriki takes us to our first break. Plenty more to follow after the break.
For 3 years since the inception of Kenyatta University Women Economic Empowerment Hub, famously KUW Hub, thousands of women have been empowered economically through research conducted by Kenyatta University scholars.
Sasa unajua wametufunza sasa tujue hata wamama wanaweza simama mahali wanaume wanasimama.
Kwa hiyo biashara yangu ya poshomi, nimejua nikifanya leo, yani you know I'm selling maize na kushaga. So jioni nakuja kufanya hesabu, nitoe expenses, nione income yenye nimepata, ni safe.
KUW Hub partners with different stakeholders in implementing research ideas through decision and policy making at county levels.
As we influence policy ourselves, we use data for policy. Also use this data for fundraising, which they are doing.
Through their leadership and governance project, KUW Hub visited Bomet County for research to reach their one objective of empowering women in leadership.
Nimejaribu juzi kuwania kiti cha director Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, and thank God I was elected. Wow. Being a woman. And again, I've got other leadership positions in nimepata.
Do not miss out on this special feature this Sunday on KUTV at 9 p.m.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
What are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that you are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area.
So this project is called Security Breach Detector and Readiness Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosives.
We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
During demonstrations, it is the right to demonstrate, the right to picket, the right to assemble, and the right to petition. These are the rights which emerge directly from that context. But it is also important to appreciate that Article 37 should not be read in isolation.
Welcome back, and I'm glad you're still with us. Now, the International Youth Day is commemorated around the world on 12 August annually. In line with celebration, the Center for the Study of Adolescence organized an event in Kibra, Nairobi County, bringing together young people. The event marked to celebrate and integrate the youth was carried under the theme Green Economy. Green Economy, where majority of youth were undertaken through programs. Our very own Ruth Wanjiru was part of the event and bring us the following report.
Commemorated every 12th August of the year, the International Youth Day is marked by the United Nations to celebrate and integrate the youth around the world. In Kibra, Nairobi County, the Center for the Study of Adolescence, CSA, organized an interactive event today to mark the celebrations. Abigail Werimu, a youth advocate, tells us that the aim of celebrating the day is to impart knowledge to impact the youth, as well as mentor them on issues affecting them, such as sexual and reproductive health.
I have gained skills. I've enhanced my knowledge in SRHR, in youth-related issues. So we deal with that, we mentor them. I have also been mentored. So after I'm mentored, I also go and mentor my fellow young youth.
Mumina Mohammed, the youth country coordinator in the organization, says that more than just celebrating, the day is also aimed at advocating for inclusivity among the youth to ensure the necessary information on issues affecting them is easily accessible.
I'm a young person and I've been given opportunities many times. There's other young people who may not be as privileged. They're not in a position to get the opportunities that me and maybe other privileged young people in quotes are getting. So it's only relevant if we, young people who are in these positions, advocate for the rights of our fellow young people and push for them to get opportunities, because they deserve to equally participate. You deserve to live your youth in a useful and meaningful way.
Representing the Center for the Study of Adolescence, Jane Njom, the Policy and Advocacy Officer, explains that for the last 35 years, CSA has taken its place in the society to educate, inform and tackle matters affecting the youth.
So for us, priority is to ensure that we share correct information with the young people and also capacity strengthen them through trainings and other forums, for them to be able to make wise decisions that affect their sexual and reproductive health, and also for them to just to have a wholesome life, take care of their health with regards to SRHR, and when they're able to make wise decisions, then they'll also be able to continue with their education, to pursue their careers.
With the theme of this year being green skills for the youth, towards a sustainable world, the International Youth Day seeks to build a better and more accommodative future for the youth. Ruth Wanjiru for KU TV.
All right, thank you, Ruth Wanjiru, for that. Now, the recent uptick in the migration deaths from young immigrants from West Africa countries is prompting concern. For a look into why young Africans in particular are leaving the region and what can be done to address the issue, VOA spoke to several African natives. The findings are in the following report.
More and more African migrants continue to make the journey from their home countries in the sub-Saharan northward on the continent, eventually moving on to Europe. Sadly, many of these border crossings come at a significant cost to migrants looking to start better lives. For many young people on the continent, the decision to leave is not one that many consider before they enter the workforce. Especially for university graduates, private sector job opportunities are often few and far between. Out of desperation, many make the difficult decision to move abroad. Zachariah Kanda, who recently attended a fellowship in the United States, the job market in Niger, his home country, is not developed enough to offer the job opportunities in the kind of field he wants to get into.
I would say most of the time people leave the region because they don't see light coming. Most of the time, they don't see opportunities. You may have many students graduating from university, but at the end, they become jobless because there's no job opportunities. And yeah, it creates frustration.
Many migrants and those planning to immigrate are lured to Europe or the United States by false narratives. Greater connectivity to the internet allows young Africans to see idealized versions of life abroad without any context about what happens behind the camera.
When you live in a place where you don't see any hope, you don't dream, you feel like there's no life for you there. So the only way for you is, okay, you're almost dead here. So even if you die in the ocean, it doesn't matter. But once you reach there in America, it's like a dream come true.
Many are hopeful that this can be undone. Osman Jalani, a refugee who resettled in Kenya, believes that African leaders can empower young people so they can make a decent living at home.
African leaders need more empowerment and awarenesses and sensitization of their youth to create more jobs, security, justice, and inclusivity of every human being living in their country.
Zachariah Kanda also believes that his generation can be part of the solution by going back to Africa to help people understand the realities of life in Western nations.
The reason why I decided to come back home is to change that narrative. It's totally wrong. It's totally not that's not what I see in America. In America, what people think here in my country is just crazy. It's not the reality. The reality is another thing.
Meanwhile, North African countries continue to brace for unprecedented numbers of young sub-Saharan migrants looking to cross their borders, seeking a better life in Europe. Anthony Labruto, VOA News, Washington.
All right, we take yet another short break. When we come back, of course, it's sports news. See you in a bit.
We are all seeing the impacts of climate change. In Kenya, for example, the frequency of the floods is becoming more and worse. The amount of people and livestock we're losing.
The level we need to go is the level where the normal Mwananchi and also the government stakeholders can uptake these solutions.
Those small acts multiplied by millions of us will help make a difference in the world at the end of the day.
It's just a slight behavior change that we need,
and you find that it serves us a bit more than you put in. And that's the goal. We want to live a better world than we found, because at the rate we are going, it's dire.
We will secure the planet for future generations.
Kenyatta University involved in this. And Kenyatta University, of course, is our premier institution for higher learning.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Right, welcome back, and now it's time for sporty action. Well, St. Anthony Boys, that is Kitale, are the 2023 Kenya Secondary School Sports Association champions after 2-1 victory over their counterpart Daigoreti High School in the ongoing national football match final held at Buhungu Stadium. Well, Aldrin Kibet scored a brace to put St. Anthony Boys in the first half ahead, while at fully packed Buhungu Stadium before Dagoretti scored a consolation goal. Both teams will, however, represent the country in the East Africa Community Football. And now switching gears to rugby. Black Blood stand Star Falcon 24/7 to advance in the quarterfinals of the Christie Sevens held at the RFUEA grounds at Ngong Road in a tricky Pool B fixtures. The Daystar University-based side had won all of their 2 opening matches against the host Kenya Harlequins and Homeboys before failing at Black Blood Test. In the other matches played today in Pool A, the National Circuit League leaders Cabra Sugar is eyeing to extend the gap after cruising past their respective pools. Now to international football. Arsenal opened their 2023-2024 season on a high note with a 2-goal masterclass after gunning down Nottingham Forest at Emirates Stadium. Nketiah, that is Eddie Nketiah, put Arsenal ahead in the 26th minutes before Bukayo Saka added the second goal 6 minutes later. Taiwo Wayonyi clocked back a goal back in the 83rd minute to make it 2-1 at full time. That's all for tonight. Many thanks for keeping us a company in the last 25 minutes or so. My name is AUMA Evans. EVALYN LANGAT has been our sign language interpreter tonight. Until next time, it's a bye-bye and do have a lovely night.